Alright, welcome back to SOS. I'm Style Sergeant Badass, and today I'm going to be making an unusual knife sheath for a smaller Ka-Bar. Okay, this is you can see it's a bit smaller, but it's perfect for your hand, right? Now this is going to be in the survival category or bushcraft category because it's a mix. Let's pull you over here and get started. Okay, this is 5-ounce leather. So there's 5-ounce leather. This is 5-ounce leather, so it's the same thing. This is done. Doesn't have a lot of hardener to it. It's just a thin. Whoever makes these sheaths, they put just a thin line of sheen on there, and they rivet multiple times around this thing. So I'm probably going to incorporate that feature as well, riveting all the way around it. It's not going to be like this. In order to do this, this has to be a knife sheath without the drop leg. So it can't have this, and it has to have a snap over the top. So there's that. Then also the other thing, there's a note here. This is for the rig. Alright. And this is just a 10. What type of 10 is that? I don't know. Some sort of mints or something. Is that like a gopher? Never mind. Anyways, that's fun. Alright, so this is supposed to go. There's a little survival kit in here. These are Ranger bands. Someone asked about Ranger bands again. Alright, Ranger bands and all this setup is nice and cool to go in the middle of the kit. But you see what problem I'm going to have there? This has to be a detachable rig from this. This will still have holes with paracord so the individual can use it as a neck knife. So basically it can go here with the snap, holding this in and retaining it, and from the retention it can be worn as a neck knife here and just snap, pull it out, and then there. This could be removed. This whole thing is going to be scout carry neck knife kind of thing. So that's the theme I'm going with. And so the end has to be wider down here. So you got to have a wide end here. I'm just explaining so that it helps people out to understand how to do this. This has to be detachable, so you need snaps here and here. Okay, let's get started. Now I need to figure out the leather. Alright, so we've got this to go by, and we know how much room that takes up. So I could go ahead and utilize that for the beginning. And it needs to be much bigger. It has to be seriously wide. So you want to add a whole nother inch of width to a knife like this. It's not cool, but it's cool. You got to do that. Alright, so whole nother section. You don't have to trace this. You already know that this is going to be square, so no big deal. You know that it needs to stop here. And right, let's bring this to here. Right about there, something like that. Now I just need to cut out that square, and then I have to cut out a matching square. Okay. Alright. So I just need this to be squared off. I'll go ahead and cut the whole thing. Let's see. Straight. Straight. There we go. I can move this out of the way for a minute while I work. Go ahead and get rid of that. I always use this for cutting, for those that want to know. This is going to be really wide. It's got to be wide. It's going to be weird, but it's got to be wide. It won't work unless you make it like this. It won't work the same. Not for what I'm doing. maybe they'll be the same. Let's see. All right. I don't think that piece will be the same, so, but I got my one piece that I need here. Now basically, I gotta pull this out again. I think I'll cut it out of this corner over here since it's kind of wobbly. So I need another piece like this. I'll probably use this for my top half. I'm not sure. Maybe not. But anyway. Now this piece has to match this piece. So I'm just going to set this up here and line it up. That way I can marry them up. There's those two pieces. Alright, before you get to going too far in your project, you take the piece that's going to be the front piece, and you're going to want to put a snap just kind of in the center there, because it's going to be your slide snap. Basically, it keeps it from sliding up and down, in and out when you decide to wear it some other way. So that's what we're going to be doing now. This, you're going to use the male connection, and there's your other piece for your male connection. Punch. Doesn't matter where you put it. Don't have to be technical. It's just better to do it now than later. Get your hole punched. I'm only going to show one snap this whole time because they're all the same. So put that in like this. Like this. And widen your hole out. That is done and done. Just like that. Now I'm just going to be gluing everything together. Different sections. Always pre-glue everything together. Now I'm making it universal so you can put the knife in either direction. It doesn't matter if it's going to go upside down, sideways, whatever. I'm making it so the knife can be put in different ways. Of course, my kids have to be in here playing around the whole time I'm working, so that's what they like to do. There. There. Zoe?
No, Owie.
I don't know. I don't know why she's in here. She's your sister. Probably the same reason why you're in here. Alright. With that, that's the bottom end because I'm making it universal. Then I've got my side pieces that I'll have to glue in place. So it'll go in nice and straight, and it'll be universal so you can flip it either way. Alright. Something like this. There's a clip in the way. Something like this. I've still got to trim the top of this up to make it in line, but it goes in either way. Just like that. There you go. Alright, to make something that's going to fit this, I looked in my junk drawer and I found an old cell phone, so anyway, I have to make it so that it'll slide in and out. It's got to have the right space and the right shape, so I'm going to be using this. This is wet. I soak both sides. I don't need any other techniques for doing it. This is what works. I've tried everything, so before you comment, I'll tell you now, I've already tried everything and this works the best, so for what I do. Someone will always tell me, hey, did you know you could use alcohol or this or that or the other thing? It's not as good. just water, folks. Don't get crazy. Just use water. No need to add chemicals to the leather. It doesn't need to be done. And I like using a staple gun because it already provides me holes and a seam guide. The person I'm making this for wants the end slit like this because I'm replicating another sheath that he sent me a picture of. It's made by an Italian guy or something, but yeah, really fancy. So I'm doing it the redneck way. But there's this. Easy, Drew. Slide this in like this. This, you want the strap to go all the way over and around. So it's going to come up and around and snap in like this. But you want it to be nice and tight. Just like that. Okay. And then I've got to, once I make my snap, I've got to put a snap in here. Now what I like to do is I pull this over as tight as I can get it. And then I squeeze with my thumb. So I'm doing there. And then it'll make an imprint of that on there. So I know where to punch my hole and put my my next snap. So there's the snap. And then the other part that's going to have to occur is I'm going to have to put a snap in here for that snap. This will go right over the top here. And that is where the pocket will go, right here. And this will have two strips that go all the way around. I've almost considered making one solid piece because I think it would hold better on a belt, but in case he has to go around a belt loop, I'm doing two straps. So I've got to cut out two straps from one piece. So I want this to be one piece of leather instead of snapping on some straps onto a piece. I don't want that. I want this to be one solid piece of leather that goes all the way around with the pocket, with the snap for the pocket, and the ferrule rod holder. Now the ferrule rod holder design he sent me was inadequate because it was one of these long ways that went this direction on the sheath picture he sent me. I didn't like that. He doesn't either. So I'm going to be, hey you. He wants it like this, and that's the way I'm going to put it on here. On this, hey you. All right, it's just like that. Anyway, we'll be back. All right, so this will look like this. Now I'm going to round these edges off because I don't want them to be pointy on the end. But this will go just like this. This will come over the top of that because it's going to be snapping in and out all the time. But it'll look just like that. And then there's going to be the pocket goes over this that holds the tin. So you won't see this, but the snap is there. So it keeps it from sliding in and out and stuff. Now, so you attach that, and then you wrap it around, and you're going to have these two straps. See, now I kind of, you're very pretty, sweetie. She's got to throw on her dress and be a princess. So. All right, right about here. Now I just need to know where I want to cut. And I can mark on the outside of this because it won't matter. Let's see. So here, right there. Because I'm going to be cutting all that out anyway. Alright. Here we go. Now I got to get the cut too far. There's the cutout once again. I've got the flap for the storage container, and this is for the ferrule rod. It just goes right underneath there. And you've got to do all that pre-prior before you nail this down, because if you don't, you're not going to get it the way you like it. So, and the way this will go, once I get that stitched on, because I'm about to start, there's my snaps. You just simply snap that on, and like I said, this goes over that, and this will come around, and this will be here, so this will come up and snap here and snap here, and then you'll have a snap there, just like that. Nice little ferrule rod holder. It's coming together. It takes time. You got to envision these things though before you start working on the project. All right. Now I have to make my holes. I'm not going to bore you with that, and then we'll stitch this up. And then of course we're going to make our holes in this, and then we're going to stitch this up. Woo! Okay, so there's the pouch. And that's the wraparound. Now I just have to measure where the snaps are going to go for that. It's great that this is removable and you can take it off. It doesn't have to be on here. And this could become just a neck knife. So the wearer could just have this up here and this. And if it ever wants to, if this ever wants to become a belt worn sheath that's a drop, sort of a drop, all you do is just simply add a tongue. So you reach in behind here and add a tongue to this if you want. So it's a possibility if anyone ever needed to switch it over. But I've still got the stitching to do on this one, and I'll take you through that. I wanted to get this part of the project out of the way, because seeing it come together is a little bit better than showing you me sitting here trying to stitch this thing together. So there's that, and it's coming together. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull you up here, and what I use, take you through this. What I use is this guy here, and I'm going to pre-select my holes for this project. So about every, as you work, this is the hole marker thing I use. Let's just find, there's my pin. It's my pin punch, and I'm just going to lay this out up here because I really want this to be nice straight stitches. So I'm just going to be laying these out just like this. I just put my mark in there and just keep going all the way through. That way I'll know where my stitches are going to go all the way down the project. You could just use a roller, but this is what I use to do all my designs for anywhere from belt loops or whatever. So, alright, that's how I get started. I'm going to go all the way around now. Alright, now that I've got everything marked, take you up here. And it's a lot easier if you pre-mark all your holes. That way when you're doing this, alright, got all my holes. Now I just need to get my thread. Thread. Lots of thread. Now I'm going to be using 2 different pieces of thread. It's that way if one if he's a rugged dude and he gets crazy and he breaks, if one piece of thread breaks somehow in the sheath, there will be another piece of thread to back that up. So if one starts to come apart, you'll have another piece. And it's something I've recently started doing a lot more often with any type of sheath build that I do. The last time I did it was with the 357 Magnum holster that I just did. Let's see, which thread we got here. Gotta make sure I got enough to do this. I'm pulling the wrong one. There we go. So you gotta even them out. That should work. Alright, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and start from this top corner here. I'm gonna pull in. Just drop the needle on the ground. But you're gonna even these up. It's gonna be a lot easier for me to do it this way. Is that? I'm gonna hold that there. Now I can even out my thread on my needle because it's acting crazy. This stuff is coated in wax. You just look for wax cordage, and it's covered in wax, so it won't. Once it goes in, it's in there. It stays pretty good. Now all I do here, I'm gonna zoom in on that so you can see what I'm doing here. Bring this over here. Go ahead and pull through. Now go down. Bring it in. See, I tucked that in. Now I've got that there. And that's all you do for the most part with weaving. You don't tie knots when you do this stuff. Bring this in that way. Bring it in again. And bring this down. And you're just weaving that into it. Don't even worry about cutting it. If you want, you could just weave that whole thing into that if you wanted to. But I don't need to go too far with it. I just need to get just enough so it doesn't come unraveled ever. And it's going to get passed over again, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, let's see. So I don't sit here and do that the whole time. Just cut it off. We'll get back to that later. Let's see. Here. And you're just going all the way through. And this is for the first stitch. Alright. See, I've already got it started. I'm going all the way around, okay? And then I'll be back in a minute. Alright, there we go. And I've weaved in a new piece here, and I'm going to be going all the way back around, covering up that next section. Alright, finish the stitching. Now, while I'm still working on the bottom here, I want to go ahead and tie up some loose ends. And since the person I'm doing this for, I kind of consider to be sort of a friend, and most of you subscribers are sort of my friends. So I've got some of this laying around, some Titan survival cord, and I'm going to hook him up with the neck piece he's going to need. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punch the holes for this, and what I'm going to be using is 1 second, 556 brass. Here we go. I'll show you how to do this real quick. You can do this with any cordless drill. If the video is long, well, it is what it is. But if you like these long leathercraft videos, I will always keep them coming. Because I'm sure somebody out there is sitting around the house, bored out of their mind, thinking, hey, let's go watch that lunatic BA. I'm sure he's got something going on. And they'll be stuck watching one of these videos. Alright. Let's fire this up. Hopefully I can get it where it needs to go. Get all the way through. Yep. You see it'll turn out just like that. And so let's try and do the other one real quick. Alright. So sometimes when the brass gets warm, I'm glad that happened because it shows people. Alright. Show your mistakes, folks. I don't edit stuff like this out either. I like raw videos. Be real, be real, folks. Alright. All the way through. Come on now. Like I said, the brass is warm. So I'm just gonna have to tighten it up real tight. I guess I need to get a little bit tighter. There we go. One more. There we go. Nice. Now, if you want to fan out the other side, just simply turn it around. So it gives it that nice burn look. Just like that. There you go. So then you get that nice burn look on both sides. Let me zoom in so you see that. See? And then just like that one. Nice little burn look. And it gives me a nice section there to lace in the paracord. So this stuff is awesome. So I've got a little bit extra. So I'm going to supply him with just enough to make him a necklace. And I'm going to be using for this project, I didn't tell anyone this, but I've got an exo tack laying around here somewhere I'm going to use for the ferro rod for this. But we've got to get finished up. Let's tie up the loose ends with this. I'm going to need the drill. All right. And you just take a drill. Just gotta round off those edges so they're not ridiculous. That's all I'm doing here. One of these days I'll get myself a belt sander and do it the right way. But for now. That's how it is. That's how you do it. Just like that. Alright, don't want to bore you. Alright, this one's getting the T-Rex approval. Sometimes I'll screw these up and I'll do them backwards or upside down, but I think I got this one figured out. I'm going to put it right above the snap. Right there. You can get stamps like this from Tandy Leather. Everything I use is from Tandy Leather. Boom. Oh yeah. There you go. And then now, boom. T-Rex. And now it's time to dye. It's time to dye leather, right? Alright, let's just set this up here. This, and some cotton balls. Lately they've been working pretty good. I got tired of buying the little doodads to rub everything on because it's a pain in the butt. We're just going to go around this thing, give her a coat. I want it to kind of look like it did. I don't want it to have too much dye. So just a decent pass over it should be fine. So I kind of want it to be a light color. I don't want it to be all dark and crazy. Kind of going with the original theme, right? Except for the EGA, I won't be able to put the Eagle Globe and Anchor on this one since it is a Marine Corps bayonet. It'll be alright. Chesty puller won't roll in his grave or anything. We'll be that. I added a little whoosh to that. I had some spill on it, so it'll dry and it won't be that dark, but it's definitely something unique. And then what you want to do before you tidy up, just get you a plain cotton ball and go over all the buttons. Just kind of go around them because you'll get dye in them. You don't want to have dye sitting up in them. So you got to go all the way around. This is the other part I don't show people that I do. And total cost. Someone wants to know total cost. These 1, 2, 3. These are Tandy. These are not the cheap ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and all the rivets. 10 of these. Well, you're looking at it's quite a bit of money. So, you can look up how many 10 cost. I want to say it's. You got roughly $4 to $5 or something like that for like 10 of those. And then the leather, I used a huge section of leather that all this work, the amount of materials I use comes to $100. Okay, so for those of you that always get interested in what I'm doing and what I make, if any of you want to donate to the channel, all you got to do is have me make something for you. Because technically, in reality, all the work that I'm doing, you're getting something from me, and in return, you're donating to the channel too. So, for those of you really interested in helping me, then that's how you could do that, and also get something from me. So it's a lot of work, but let's see, where's the other piece? This is a light color. See, It's a really light color, and I'll probably go over this just real quick one last time, and then I've got to seal it. So I'm going to be sealing. I always like how these turn out. They always look really good. I dig these little projects like this one. I always dig how these look. I always like that Scout Carry design. I like how those look. Just one last time over this. See, what's cool is it does its own thing. I mean, you can smear it on however you like. It always does its own thing. It doesn't matter what it looks like when you're done wiping on it. How it's like really dark like that. It fades in just a matter of minutes and starts looking like something else. But if you want one spot to be darker than the other, just dump a lot. See how I'm doing that? You just dump a lot more into that spot. It'll be a little bit darker. It won't be that dark when it dries. Try to get the edges really good. This is going to be a really cool sheath. I'm liking this, just putting it together. I'm starting to really like this sheath, and now I'm wanting one myself. The more I look at this, I'm like, dude, this is really cool. And it's going to be a Ka-Bar. That's pretty tight. It's going to be a fun little carry. T-Rex is showing up good. All right, that's that. Now I got to seal it. Now prepare yourself for really changing the color. I'm going to be using leather sheen. We're going to tighten this thing up, so it's going to be a little bit harder than an average knife sheath. It's gonna have a little snap and pop to it. So you're just gonna simply smear it on. However, like I said before, all this stuff does its own thing. Just smear it on. Don't make runs, but just wet it, just like that, right? There you go. And then move your way around to wherever else. Like I said, don't let it do runs, and then let it sit. Go all the way around the project. You get a run, you take care of it. Just don't let it run. Doesn't look good with runs, just saying. But this stiffens the whole thing up. And it'll kind of lighten the project a little bit. Makes it a little bit lighter, but it's worth the extra protection from elements. That's why I put it on there. It protects the leather from elements. Water will kind of run right off of it. See, I told you it starts kind of changing the color of it a little bit. But it's getting darker because it's getting wet because of the material. That's going to set and dry. Let's go ahead and do the other one. It doesn't matter if you pour it all over it if you want. I mean, you could put this stuff in a spray bottle if you wanted to and just spray it on. The way it works. You want to get it really good into the thread, all the way around. Get it inside the pockets. Any exterior items you got. Flip. Yeah, this is really going to harden the leather because the leather is really soft because it's 5-ounce leather. I want it to be just a little bit thicker than that. Give me a little bit more. Just about done. Just got to get this side done. I'm not too worried about the edges of these because you want them to kind of stretch a little bit and move a little bit. Jeez Louise. Didn't realize I was going to use so much. I had to use a lot of dye on this project and a lot of just from noticing. It's taken a lot of material to do this project. Alright, there's that. And I got stuff all over my hands like always, but that's okay. Goes with the job. Whoosh. Clean the buttons again. And go around. I don't want any of that stuff in the buttons. And I'll just go clean my hands up in a minute. No big deal. Alright, got that good. Let that set for a minute. Let's get around this thing. I don't want any of that crud up in those buttons. Right. Now this will set and dry, and we'll come back and it should be good to go. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's been drying, so it should be doing alright. Let's see, right about for my neck. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and let's bring this through here. I don't know if I want to do it like that. Here, let's bring it in like this. I think it'll look better. I love this Titan survival cord, man. This stuff's cool. It's got all those strands. It's got your fishing line. It's got your your snare wire. It's got your fire cord. Let's just try and pull this so it brings it in more like that. There we go. And now you do the same thing kind of with if you've got dog tags, you're in the military, and you do the same thing sort of. You just bring it together like this, and you've got your dog tags and your silencers for your dog tags. You can do something along the lines of this. A lot of us would do this. There we go. That's done. Now you can just probably pull it through like that if you want. And let's do something else unique. Here we go. This is a Ranger band. A couple pieces of Ranger band. Let's just bring this together. He can do what he wants with it when he gets it. I don't know how he wants to put this together, but I'm going to do it like this. Hopefully I can make this work. There we go. Whew. Let's get a Ranger band on there. Just like that. That'll work temporarily until he figures out what he wants to do with it. Alright, and let's install our knife. That ain't going anywhere. There's your knife. Alright, let's go ahead and install our ferrule rod. I'm just going to use the Exotac for this. Just kind of stretch it. This is just for a demonstration. I don't know what ferrule rod he's going to be using for this, but I'll use the Exotac for this project. I'll just lace this through here like this. This should work. Just temporarily. Just to give people an idea of kind of what you could add. But there's the ferrule rod. And just go ahead and snap this on here. Bring them together. There you go. Bring this around. Like that. That. Yeah, this ain't going nowhere. Yeah, this thing's solid. It ain't going nowhere. There's that. Now, let's go ahead and add that. Now, there's plenty of room in here. I made this pouch a little bit bigger, so there's plenty of room in there for moving it around and stuff. But I saved him a little bit of extra room in there in case he wanted to stuff something else in it. There's that. And that is a beefcake, man. Look at that. That is crazy. And that'll hang right off the back. Just like that. There's your straps. Wham. And somebody you want to get some, just flick. And anyway, just like that. Pretty sweet. Boom. Look at that. There you have it. All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and ship it today. The Exotac with it. I don't care. I get stuff all the time and I just turn around and give it away. But that's the way I am. All right. That's all I got for today. You're watching SOS. I'm Stats Arm Badass. Have a beautiful, fabulous, fantastic day. Rainbows and unicorns. God bless. Take care.